Hello, Doc, alcoholic addict, and welcome to another fantastic edition of Sober School. You guys were here last week. We did the rundown on the 12 steps, and I thought it might be a good idea to do a rundown on the 12 traditions. They both serve similar purposes. All right. So the 12 steps is to keep the alcoholic or addict alive and together. The 12 traditions does the same thing for the group itself, for the rooms. It goes really deep in the origins of Alcoholics Anonymous. It goes back after the first couple decades, but first 20 years of AA being a thing. That's when they drafted the 12 traditions, and it was formally published in 1946. All right. All right. Well, basically, in the first couple decades, the groups, that were trying to like really take hold and help people kept running into problems, conflicts over money, power struggles, religious disagreements, public controversies, and members using AA for personal gain. Kind of a dick move. Well, here's basically the historical reasoning behind each of the traditions. All right. And when I was locked up, like before we would do, because I do meetings at least Monday through Friday, and we read all the handouts before we get to the sharing part, and that's what everybody was really there for, and nobody wanted to read the handouts, and especially nobody wanted to read the traditions. So I made that my thing. I got really good at reading the traditions. If you see me in a meeting and they're reading the traditions, you'll probably see me mouthing along because, yeah. Well, one. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on AA unity. Early groups fell apart. Like they started off great, and because of one thing or another, they fell apart. And it's like united we stand, divided we fall. Like everybody's got to be clear on what they're there for and what should come first, and common welfare, what's best for everybody, what's best for the group itself that's el numero uno, literally and figuratively. Unity had to be protected above all else, and it doesn't matter how good your program is. If Brown Street and Cornerstone are on that like gang shit and clicking up, or like these people aren't cool with those people, it's not gonna really attract people to your fellowship, and it's probably gonna sour a lot of people away because people got enough drama in their daily lives without having drama in their recovery. It's pretty self-explanatory. Numero uno, the common welfare of the program, because personal recovery depends on AA unity. Tradition 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. In the early, 30s and 40s, there were a lot of really good groups, and then they had they ultimately they started off great, attracted a lot of people and started helping a lot of people, but ultimately fell apart because of big personalities. because because so-and-so's group was all about so-and-so. And that took the focus away from why everybody was actually there and what was actually important, which is a unity. It goes back to the group one. And people be like that. They want to dominate. I should not have my own AA or NA group. I am starting a cult though. If you guys want to talk about it, we'll meet in the out back after class. But it's not healthy for recovery to have it be about the personality, to be about any one individual. It's about the group. And and that's the way it needs to be. And to prevent power struggles, AA adopted the group conscience as the ultimate authority. So nobody's the boss of any group. You can take a vote in a group or poll the group conscience. How does everybody feel about this? But it's never going to be one person. Oh, we're going to do it this way. See that? The sign on the table. It says, please no banging on the tables. Because a good friend of mine was running an NA group in the morning, and he really enjoyed banging on the tables during a certain part of the readings. And it really made him happy, and a couple other people really dug it. But others not so much. And because it's about the group, not any one person or small clique of people. They literally the group conscience said, okay, we're going to need to, this needs to be posted. No banging on the tables. Yeah, leaders serve, they do not rule. I'm here today as a educational coordinator. I'm here to present information and my perspective on it. And if you guys got questions on things, to help flesh those out. I'm just to facilitate learning. I am teaching this class, but this class is not about me in any way, shape, or form. All right. Tradition 3. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. And obviously, it goes without saying, you can insert using, if you're in the NA fellowship, the sentiment is the same. And it's can't have it's a lot about because people tend to click up. They literally some early groups tried to add conditions religious beliefs. So look, we're gonna have it's a Catholics only meeting, or fucking whites only meeting.
Yeah.
We've
done a lot.
Yeah. Right. But that's not.
Yeah.
That is not good.
Yeah.
That is not what's best for the group. That's right. To exclude anybody. The only requirement for membership is you got a problem drinking. If you got a problem using, that's the only qualify. Yes, that's the only qualifier. We're not. There's no list. There's no addendums. There's no extra stuff. Yeah. You got a problem. Yes. All right. You're good. Come on in. A famous example in Cleveland, someone wanted to exclude a black alcoholic. Bill W. argued this would destroy AA. The fellowship decided inclusivity was essential. Yeah. If you exclude anybody, like that goes back to the analogy I was saying the other day. If like you see a group of people drowning, are you gonna? Is it cool to only save the ones who look like you, or like, oh, what? Any of you guys Baptist? You know, like that's not cool. They're fucking drowning. They got a fucking problem. The only thing that's important is what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. We'll get to that. Tradition 4, each group should be autonomous, except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. Some groups experimented with different meeting styles. Like people do the popcorn. Some people like the popcorn share. Some people like round robin. Some people like book readings. Yeah. Like it just depends, and you have different people like different stuff. It's good to offer different options. Yeah. So like you maybe find something. It's just like finding a church that speaks to you. Like what we do, me and my mom and brother and sister every weekend, we would go church shopping. We would go to different churches and just check out the vibe, see how they felt, how they resonated with us, until just my mom was she was my mom. She was very interesting, and she's kind of like a little Baptist, a little Pentecostal. She liked to bring her tambourine to church, and that's not cool. Like that's cool at some churches, but you take the tambourine out in a Catholic church, they're gonna feel some sort of way about it. So it's all about finding a church or a fellowship that meets and observes in a way that's compatible to you.
That's right.
Any port in a storm. If you need a meeting, catch a meeting. Maybe it might just be the meeting you need. But yeah, as long as what you were doing didn't harm AA as a whole or the fellowship as a whole, it's pretty much fair game. If you want a meeting at a nudist colony, sure. But there's like people like to get naked, like to drink too, or like to drink a little bit too much, historically speaking, based on my experience. So that's perfectly fine. But anybody think of an example of something that would be a deal breaker? Like a type, like, yeah, we like to smoke crack and talk about the AA fellowship. See, that might negatively affect the fellowship as a whole. And you can try it out, but this prevented any one group or region from controlling the movement. All right. And it's yes, it got started a long time ago. And this is just I was just talking about this. So tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry the message to the alcoholic who still suffers. That's the mission. It doesn't matter, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody or hurt the fellowship. How you carry that message to the alcoholic who still suffers does not matter so much. But that is the primary purpose of the group. That groups were getting distracted, turning into social clubs, political platforms, or religious fellowships, which we kind of talked about before. But they had there was a lot more political parties back then, more than this 2.5 party BS we're dealing with now. But there was they'd click up and okay, we're gonna have a Bull Moose Party AA meeting, and it was making the meeting about even it's equal footing, if you're all right, so this is a meeting for Republicans who are alcoholics. Even though you're sharing equal billing, that's diluting the amount of attention to AA by 50%. Like, it's taking focus away. And this tradition just set the focus on what a meeting needs to be about: helping alcoholics. It's just that simple. This is my favorite. 6 is my favorite tradition just because it's fun to say, and it's got alliteration, 6, an AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, or prestige divert us from our primary purpose. Just rolls off the tongue. Yeah, in the beginning, like churches, rehabs, rest farms, all manner of different treatment centers, spas, they all wanted to get the AA endorsement. And so like it's the like the AA certified health spa. And ultimately, if you're tying yourself to a like a business that's taking the focus away from recovery, and ultimately, well, in a capitalistic system, making money, which led to conflict and confusion. So I went to this one AA rest farm, and they did this, or they let us slide here or not slide here, but went to this other one, and who standardizes that? But still, it's the same thing with the previous tradition. Like, if you're trying to make money and help alcoholics, that's not necessarily a conflict of interest. It's diluting the attention. It's diluting the focus from where it needs to be. If you're trying to make money and help alcoholics, or if you're trying to help alcoholics and make money, that like it's just math. You're diluting the focus from where it needs to be. And this just like not co-signing for anybody is what AA had to do to avoid entanglements, conflict of interest, confusion, because that's what was required to keep the fellowship together. I don't know where my vape is. Dang it. All right. Anybody know Tradition 7? Like without looking at the it involves a hat or a basket, typically. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. And this was a big one. Like especially at the time that AA was coming up, there was a lot of like bigwigs, like robber barons and big philanthropists, and like Carnegie. What's another big Rockefeller? Yeah, like John D. Rockefeller gave a small donation to AA, but warned not to rely on outside money. I'll give you a little something to help you out, but I wouldn't recommend doing this because, okay, so say you got a rich benefactor, like you're in we discussed this in toxic relationships, you're in like a transactional relationship, potentially. They might just give you the money because they believe in what you're doing, but a lot of times there's strings attached, or expectations at the very least. So like, it's important to like group takes care of the group. It might result in having to drink black coffee because maybe there's not enough dollars in the basket to get sugar and creamer. There might not be enough dollars in the basket for coffee at all. I've been to like just dry ass meetings. All right, we're here. There's a drinking fountain in the hallway. But honestly, still a really good meeting. It's nice to have that other stuff, but it's important that if we got that, you want that stuff, put a couple extra bucks in the basket. We'll probably have it next week. But relying on anybody outside of the fellowship, unless they're an alcoholic, if you're an alcoholic and you want to put a Benjamin in the basket every time around, we'll be drinking Starbucks. God bless you. But it's an anonymous donation and there is no strings attached. You're not in charge of what happens to that money or what the group does. The group conscience is. And often like Brown Street pays for the rent for the Brown Street room. Brown Street also pays for the use of the surf center for candlelight on Friday and Saturday. And buys literature and tokens. Literature is sold at cost because it's not about, like, we can mark it up like a quarter or like a little bit, make a little something for ourselves, but that's not what it's about. Like, we're going to put as much money at getting literature and get it to you at cost because it's important for you to have that. And honestly, most groups, if you say, man, I really like a big book, but I'm flat busted. I'm homeless. I ain't got it. Like, I bet you somebody in that group is gonna foot the bill or set you up on an installment plan. Here, pay for it when you can, because the message is what's important. And self-support keeps groups free and independent, because that's crucial. We can't be, we're beholden, we're bound to alcohol, we're bound to drugs for years. We're beholden to them. We're bound to it. We're under its thumb, and accepting outside contributions runs the risk of doing that to the group as a whole, and unacceptable. Tradition 8, Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. All right. Because in the beginning, there was people tried to become professional AAs. They were good at it. They knew the literature, and they would, all right, I'll be your sponsor, $10. You know, or like when they ask you to raise your hand in the group if you're willing to take you on as a sponsor, and if you said highest bidder, would not be super cool and would be a violation of Tradition 8. And this risks corrupting the whole sentiment. The basis of this program is one alcoholic helping another freely, not because they get something out of it other than their own recovery, because we only get to keep what we have by giving it away. And it's giving it away, not selling it. And paid staff for clerical organizational tasks is allowed, but not for 12-step work. And there was a lot of contention inside the group initially about even paying somebody to answer the phone. Like, you're sitting there talking to hopeless drunks all day, or their wives or loved ones, and then they tried to they even messed around with, all right, well, we'll give them a little something and like paid them like you pay a server kind of. We're going to make the pay so shitty that they know it's not about the pay. But what if the toilet's clogged? Granted, if you're a group in this town, you're probably going to call me. But I'm not going to charge you. But like maybe I'm not available, or there's an electrical problem, or there's stuff that need, like, depending on how big the facility is, there's certain jobs, all right, like you're on, like, I'm sure some people will do service work of just, okay, do you guys want to do some service work? Yeah, all the bathrooms need cleaned. You might do that once, maybe even twice, but are you gonna really every time you go to the meeting, are you going to want to clean the bathrooms? And maybe you do. I'm not one to judge. But there's certain jobs, as long as it's not 12-step related, clerical, janitorial, maintenance, food and beverage, that is perfectly fine to be a paid position. They ultimately decide, but there was some contention about it initially. All right. It brings us to tradition 9. AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. There was a lot of fear of turning into like a hierarchical bureaucracy, like just like, all right, so like new business, old business, and they do that. I said do, but like the way AA is ran is a lot, not to get political, is really how I think our government should be ran, or how it was designed to be ran initially. Like, so this group, all right, so we decide our group conscious, what we're trying to do. We send a couple representatives to the larger group, and they meet with a couple representatives from all the other small groups who have their sentiment, and then they poll that group conscious, and then it goes all the way up to district, and then all the way up to the national level. But it's all it is just group conscious representatives, and all the representatives get together, check their group conscience, and ultimately this gives you the most truest representation of the group conscience of the fellowship as a whole. Because there absolutely were a bunch of alcoholics and addicts, so some organization was needed, and also as far as literature publishing and revision of said literature. We're on like the 4th edition. I don't know, like that's the it's through these collective cumulative group consciousness what decided what stories got moved around, or what stories got kept, what stories got removed, new stories potentially added, was all done through these service boards and committees. But ultimately, it's always comes down to the group conscience of group consciences of group consciences. Yeah. Committees exist, but they are servers, not rulers. Decisions move up to the top, not from the top down. That's so cool if our government ran like that. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. But still, two-party system goes back to the divided we stand. United we stand, divided we fall. It's just dog people versus cat people. But I'm not going to get political, because we just discussed that. Rein it in, Mike. All right. Tradition 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. Because there's a lot of infighting about politics and religion and how we're going to define, like how we define higher power. And we just say higher, like there's so much contention and back and forth over that issue alone, and it's created created a lot of divisions and threatened AA's unity, which is required for this to work. So let's say like prohibition. Like say there was a temperance candidate, and like, are we going to be like, just because we have problems drinking, should we like click up, or it goes back to the whole co-signing people, but we don't, it's not about that. Like, we can't like, because, all right, so say there's a big, a bill that's going to ban alcohol or make it harder to drink or make sure you like raise the drinking age to 58 or something ridiculous like that. And whether or not that's a good idea, that has nothing to do with Alcoholics Anonymous. It has to do with alcohol.
58 is about the average age until they get into AA.
Yeah. A lot of people? Yeah. But in order for like
It's not bad. I mean, honestly, like in NA, you see more younger people. In AA, you see more older people. And what I've figured out is, like alcohol, it kind of takes you a little bit longer to like figure out, like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Well, the social
drugs just sucks you down quicker, and you're like, oh fuck, my life's a mess. Like I feel like alcoholics are so much better at like it's managing and lasting. I don't know, it's weird.
It's the social acceptability aspect of it.
Okay.
Because alcohol's it's legal. It's legal,
right?
And a socially acceptable thing. It's perfectly fine. Everybody, it's worked a hard day. You can knock back a couple, but when you're knocking back a couple handles, that's excessive. But it's a lot easier to get other people to overlook it, and a lot easier to lie to yourself about it.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Everybody drinks. It's legal. It's perfectly fine. They sell it at the corner store. So, and the only difference between the real difference between NA and AA is AA are people with cars and no license, and NA is people with licenses and no cars.
Hell yeah.
That's just math.
Hey, but you know what, though? No doubt. One of the reasons why I stayed in my addiction as long as I stayed in my addiction in AA was because I had this naive belief that I could handle this shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, months goes by, I'm drinking. And see, I realized that I was alcoholic when you go in your house, you got bottles in the back, you got bottles in the kitchen, you got bottles in here, you got, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I used to have to drink a pint before I went to work.
Yeah.
I had to drink another pint at work. You know what I'm saying? But my point of the matter is, I was what's called a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking that because I'm doing this, I'm drinking every day, and I'm still going to work, that it's not a problem. But see, the problem comes when the totality just start coming down on you, when you're like, fuck, going to work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to drink all day.
I'm a functioning alcoholic and a functioning addict, and my spiral was really, really wide. Like I could keep it going for a long, long time, but it's ultimately it's a downward spiral. Like the radius of the spiral does not matter. Is it better to just get your head cut off and blow everything up right away, or what's worse, that or death by 1,000 paper cuts.
That.
It's arguably worse to drop, like, you're living an unimaginable, unhappy life in suffering. It's almost better to blow your life up immediately and get on to getting better than dragging it out for a long time and prolonging your suffering, prolonging the suffering of those around you.
Yeah.
But to survive, AA as a whole had to remain neutral and avoid any controversy, because we're a big group of drunks. We've got enough controversy built in. We do not need to be inviting additional controversy. This is a big one. 11. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need to always maintain partial anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. All right. Anybody seen any of the? There's a couple cool documentaries on Bill W. and on Alcoholics Anonymous, and you'll notice they're doing, the people who do interviews are doing interviews like blacked out, keeping it anonymous. That's also why I'm Doc. That's not really my name, because
I just thought you had a PhD, bro.
honorary.
In the streets.
Yes, I got my PhD in street smarts and freelance psychopharmacology. What? All right. Yeah, that's just a bachelor's.
Still working on my associates over here.
Yeah. You'll get there. I have faith in you.
Sweet.
You guys can do extra credit together.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
All right. Like a lot. There's some some founding members sought fame, in essence. All right. So like we were there from the beginning, ground floor. We were there when it started, and like paid speakers and stuff like that. And it's fine. You can do speaking engagements if you're speaking on your own, your take on things, your own perspective. But if you're like paid engagements for, we're trying to be the public face of AA, if I were the face of the lighthouse, and I fall off, it's going to negatively affect the group that is the lighthouse. I'm an alumni. I'm a member of the lighthouse. But I'm not the face of anything. It's a damn shame too. But if an individual relapses after being the public face, like that's gonna negatively affect the fellowship. Jared the Subway. That is a big PR
Yeah, that was a good one.
kerfuffle right there.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Thank you. But man,
So is he really eating subs or smoking meth?
Oh,
That's not what he got. That's not what he got.
Oh, that's what he was doing?
No.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
you did what?
He went to
Oh.
everything he went to prison for was non-sandwich related.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
prison?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 He's been in there last 15
No,
years.
not there.
Yeah.
What do you got to put in for?
So he was eating meatballs.
Some Newcastle shit. He was like
Meatball
having boys and stuff delivered to him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But like it,
Yeah.
He wanted
even
meatballs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
kind
You
of
know how all kids eat? You just, when you go to Subway, all kids just get a meatball sandwich.
yeah. So that's go to.
Yeah, it is.
It's solid.
So he was definitely eating meatball sandwiches.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know
Or
that.
offering them out.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that, dude.
Like,
Wow. I thought he was smoking.
So I
Got
see
this
you like
meatball
putting balls in
set
your
up.
mouth.
Hey,
No,
what about the guy from Blue's Clues?
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's made up.
That-
He didn't fall off?
no,
Oh, I thought he was doing dope.
no. He actually got
Started a band.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
the original guy from Blue's Clues. He got let go because his hair was thinning.
His hair was what?
It was going bald.
I think that was a rumor too.
No, that's what this is from
Quit
him.
To,
This is
started a band.
Started a band.
Yeah.
He can't get that good.
Don't
He started
even-
a
I'm not- I know that
band. The band.
Good. I was
Yeah.
about that.
eh,
Be like Jay Blues. Go get the
But-
band back.
might make a lot of money, but are you happy? All right, we're getting off topic, but like, all right, so Bill W, like the founder,
Yeah.
OG, Alcoholics Anonymous numero uno. I heard on his deathbed he asked for 3 shots.
2 shots.
No, like just enough to catch a buzz. And that was kind of like, that was not broadly broadcast.
Yeah.
And really, I don't entirely fault him.
I don't blame you.
I'm serious.
Yeah, well, like,
It's not a bad request.
That was after the
Yeah.
trying to be the face.
well, he was he founded Alcoholics Anonymous to stay alive and have a life worth
Yeah.
living and not harm those around him
Yeah.
and not self-destruct.
Yeah.
So if you already know you're going to blow up,
Yeah.
if you're going to do it. But the point being that's a fact that was maybe not I don't know. I don't even know if it's a fact.
Could have made all that up. Right
Yeah, could be hearsay.
Well, he can defend himself.
Yeah, exactly. But that would, if that is a fact, if that is in fact a fact, if somebody wants to Google that, you have permission to use your phone. But that's the sort of thing. Like, he was literally the face and name of AA. But they saw back from the beginning that having any one face, like, you see what happens to politicians, cult leaders. Like, anytime you have a public face, it's a single point of failure. If something happens with that public face, if the whole group and the well-being of the fellowship as a whole is hanging on any one person or even a small group of people, if something happens to that, it could ultimately lead to the collapse. And that can't happen.
He was,
Yeah.
I believe he was still relatively anonymous all the way through and all the way till the end. Because at the end of one of the movies, like the very end, is he's attending this AA meeting while he's on the road, and he overhears people, like before the meeting start, talking about how they know Bill
Yeah.
and I saw him at this last convention or whatever, and they don't even realize they're in the presence of him. And he sits down, and his wife, Lois, can tell he's like just chomping at the bit to
Yeah.
tell people who he is.
Yeah.
Because he loved it.
Yeah.
But, and he like looks disappointed that nobody knows who he is. And then a newcomer just happens to sit next to him. And he still doesn't tell him, but he's like, his ego is built back up because he's like, oh, let me tell you something, and like, or just starts welcoming the newcomer and helps him right off the get, so he felt his purpose
'Cause
again, even though
That's what it's all
he
about.
wasn't well known.
Yeah. It'd be like, imagine if you like, I don't know, got away with robbing a bank. Got away free and clear. Got the money and everything. But you can't really spend it. You can't tell anybody. I could see some conflict there. But we're tangenting quite bad, which I love. However, we're on the home stretch of the 12 traditions. Yeah, the danger of having any one face. Like, what's supposed to attract people to AA, bring people to AA, is that, okay, man, we all have something in common. And like the other people I know who are alcoholics are vomiting on themselves in a gutter, and you guys have jobs and businesses and are upstanding members of society. That's what it's all about. You don't want to like say like, you're going to do like AA billboards. No. Like exclusive banner ads on websites. No. Like being, what's important is being attractive alcoholics. But no, like showing what you can do, and that's what's supposed to bring people to the program, is the fact that people who are in the program are doing good. People who are in the program are getting significant continuous sobriety. People who work the program have a lower rate of relapse. And it's all those things that are what's supposed to be bringing people to the program. Not promoting it, not having any face. It's about what the program can do. People, you gotta like, it's, you can't make people want it. People who aren't ready. But you can make it look really good. And that's a lot. If I try and like, you try and like if you're not into religion, some Bible thumper comes at you like spitting Bible verses in your face. Most people I know aren't going to respond well to that. Because if that's not something they want, you can spit Bible verses as eloquently as you like at them. If they're not ready, that's not something they're in the market for. It's not going to take. You're wasting your breath. But if you live the life of a good Christian, and like people see that you're happy and you're doing good and you got your stuff together, if you live the life, if you're 10, 11, 12 in this program, and you've got the stuff you lost back and then some, and you're helping other people to do the same thing, it's the attractive aspect is what's supposed to bring people to this program, not any promotion. And brings us to 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Like a lot of pride and ego like threatened the group in the beginning, even from the first group, like from the very beginning, and then as it spread, like it was still a problem. That's just one of the things. Like ego has no place in recovery. Humility has a place in recovery. Being humble, not being like I'm facetious and I joke about it and stuff, but it really, humility is what is required. Pride and ego have no place in AA, in NA. You can be proud of your clean time. You can be proud of how you carried the message, experience, strength, and hope. You can be proud of how sponsees you work with. You can be proud of that, but that's about it. Because in tradition 12 reinforces a lot of the other traditions. It goes back just like the 12 steps. It starts, get to 12 and it goes right back around to 1. That's what allows us to have the unity we have is because we all have this one thing in common: a problem. We have a drinking problem, we have a drug problem, we have both, but it's not about any one person. It's not about you, it's not about you, it's not about me. It's about this problem we have in common. But yeah, it's as hard as it is to pronounce for some people, especially. I don't know. I think a great drinking game. Take a shot every time somebody mispronounces anonymity in an AA meeting. That probably wouldn't be healthy. Yeah, it's and that's reinforces humility, reinforces a lot of the other traditions. It's because it's not about any one person. Because we're all AAs. That really confused me a lot when I was reading the big book to begin with. It's anonymous alcoholics, not like members of AA. We are, when it says AAs in the book, it's saying anonymous alcoholics, because who we are, what we do, what we're called outside of these rooms is not what's important. It's what happens inside these rooms. In short, it's like 12 traditions is kind of like like the amendments to the Constitution, like the add-ons. Nice. Because there was a lot of trial and error involved. Like they were doing something new that had never been done before. So there's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be trial and error, but they figured out what was important and set these priorities, set this structure to just how the 12 steps ensures the survival of the individual AAs. The 12 traditions ensures the survival of AA as a whole. And that's all I got. There's the 12 traditions rundown. Yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome.